The only thing they could tell you is to unplug it and plug it back. And then they can tell you that they'll reset it. And then third, they'll tell you that, oh, we're just working on the towers. And I'm like, well, I'm working from home. If I can't work from home, I can't pay you. And look, we have a problem here. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Brandon Brews channel. I am Brandon. And today, as you see, it's not plugged up. You might have looked at my unboxing video and you've seen me unbox it and set it up. And today is not plugged up. I will be giving you my review today of T-Mobile's 5G internet and my reason why it's not plugged up and why I decided to go back to my current provider. Let's talk about it. Let's go. All right, so here it is. So my reasoning for wanting to try out T-Mobile's 5G internet was like everybody's reason. They are advertising and marketing it for $50 a month. Now, everyone who's using a cable provider such as Xfinity, AT&T, you guys, we probably are paying close to $100 or $100 plus. And like that gets expensive and the rates keep going up and up and up. And then you already know why some of these big companies can do it, because they can, and we're going to pay for it anyway. And then especially with pandemic, you have people working from home, you have people doing e-learning, kids doing e-learning, so we need the internet. So my only reason for trying out T-Mobile's 5G internet, because it was cheap, and I wanted to cut my internet bill in half, basically. I was paying about $120 with Xfinity, and look, your homeboy was tired, like, dang. But that was my only concern with the bill. As far as reliability, it was there. Yeah, there would be some outages maybe every 3 months, one day or something. But I work from home and everything works. I have a lot of tech connected to it, so it always worked. So here we go with T-Mobile. And I have some notes here if you see me looking down. I just want to make sure I get everything. But like I said, I started seeing all these commercials. And one particular day, I wrote a status on Facebook and I asked people, I said, hey, anybody try T-Mobile's 5G? And behold, there were a few people. I even got a close friend who has it, and she said it's amazing. And I was like, okay. So I went on my lunch break and went to the T-Mobile store and said, hey, I want to try out the T-Mobile internet. And of course, they were giving a promotion. You get 14 to 15 days of a free trial. So you basically get 2 weeks. And if you don't like it, you can bring it back. You don't pay anything. But anything after the 15 days, you have to pay. So in my perspective and my journey of T-Mobile's 5G internet, I actually went back after the 15 days. So what happened? They end up prorating me. But we'll get to that to the end. Let's back up. As you see from my unboxing video, I unboxed it. I set it up. Out of the box, it started working like a regular router, like a regular modem router that you would use. And I didn't have any issues. I didn't have to call T-Mobile's tech support to get them to set it up. It worked. So that went well. So as the first day went on, we're getting into the nitty gritty. I set up all my devices, a Ring doorbell. I have my garage. I have about 3 cameras for the house, 3 Alexas. I have Google Home, Siri HomePod. I have 3 TVs. And that's not even counting my phone and my iPad and my computer, my MacBook and my work computer. So that's a lot. So I put everything on it. And I actually tried to delay doing it because I still had Xfinity in the background. So I put like half of the stuff one day. And then one day I said, well, I just need to test it. So I put everything on it. And so I did that. Watching TV was fine. I could stream. There was no buffering. There was nothing. I even worked from home for the first Monday, and it seemed to be okay. Now, I will say this. The speed was very noticeable for me working on my computer. Anybody who work from home in a remote job, you know, there are certain applications that you need that are labor intensive, that are internet heavy. So I need a steady connection. And I could tell just from how my computer would load up and move things, that it was slow. The upload speeds were not up to par for me. Now, speaking of speed tests, I did a few speed tests and I never screenshotted them, which I should have. But so I can't do a comparison. But you got some big tech gurus out there who will, so you can look at their videos. But when it comes to internet, I just needed to work. It's not a big issue for me to have to see, oh, well, their speed is this or their speed is that. I just needed to work. So I'm giving you that perspective. If that's you, then keep listening. So like I said, setup was fine. And like I mentioned, I work from home. And see, this is the biggest issue for me. I've been working from home since probably 4 years. And then when the pandemic happened, I went permanently from home. So for me, I need a steady, reliable connection. And that is my first point. There was always a connection. Like I mentioned, you can stream, you can watch TV. I watch the news in the morning. Nothing was wrong with the connection or streaming. So, and that goes into your downloads. So the downloading speed and it was normal. You can stream and do your Netflix and do all of that. You can even FaceTime and do all of that, and I didn't have any issues. But when it came time for me doing some work, which I work from home 8 hours a day, that's when I got hiccups. So within the 3 days of me having the internet, I lost connection. My computer was losing connection and connecting. And then I even checked on my phone and it was doing the same thing. It was losing the connection, reconnecting. And I'm just like, okay, maybe it's a VPN thing at work. So I checked that. No one else was having any issues. It was just me. So, and then another day went by and I still continued to have the same thing. And so this was like 1 weekend. So, and then by the second week, the weekend passed, I observed it again. And mind you, this is what I did after the first week. I did some troubleshooting things. Of course, everybody unplugs it and restart it. I did that maybe a dozen of times. But it always said it had a connection. It never said it never had a connection. It always had one. And like I mentioned in my unboxing video, I could never get the modem to say excellent. It could never give me all the bars. It was always 3 bars. And I think 5 is excellent. So that was one thing that I noticed out the box of having it, that I could never get it to say an excellent connection. It always said 5G. It didn't go down. But I don't know. Second week, I've done troubleshooting. I've even called customer service. Let's talk about customer service. The customer service for this T-Mobile 5G internet, home internet, is not there. Now, I know they have had home internet. They've had it like probably, I don't know, for a couple years. It was 4G. It was LTE. So it's always been there. But when it comes to customer service and the tech support, it's not there. Like, I mean, I'm talking to people who really don't know. The only thing they could tell you is to unplug it and plug it back. And then they can tell you that they'll reset it. And then third, they'll tell you that, oh, we're just working on the towers. And I'm like, well, I'm working from home. And this is my bread and butter. And if I can't work from home, I can't pay you. And look, we have a problem here. I don't have I can take an outage for a couple of hours. But every single day I'm losing a connection. How can I explain that to my boss? Can you write me a letter so I can send over to my boss and let them know T-Mobile's working on the towers. They'll be back up shortly. Might take a few weeks. So yeah, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm like, I don't have time for my internet to do that kind of thing. And like I said, I'm very driven. Like, I'm a millennial and everything I do is online. The whole house is online. And that's just kind of the world that we're in. And it just really wasn't working for me. So what I did, I hit up Xfinity and I said, all right, I think I'm back. And immediately, though, when I did that, I noticed the speed. And I was just like, dang, so this really is slow. Like, my internet pages and browsers for work were just speedy. And then one thing I noticed as well, when I was using the T-Mobile's internet, I would give Alexa a command, and Alexa would take like 10, 15 seconds to say something back. But with Xfinity, it's immediately. It cuts on. You can hear her talking now. No. All right. But yeah, it's very quick and vibrant. And immediately I said, you know what? $50 is cheap for internet. It's very affordable. But I can't make it I don't want it to feel like it's cheap. So I kindly was like, yeah, I gotta get rid of this. So I kind of knew that this wasn't gonna work for me. Now, let me talk about this. Is it really completely bad? No, but from my perspective of how I use the internet in my house, and like I said, I work from home. I work 40 hours a week, and that's online. And I need that security of a reliable connection. Now, for someone like my mother, all my mother does online is scroll Facebook, use YouTube, watch a movie here and there. She's not doing any heavy, solid work on her internet connection. So, this may be for that person who isn't driven solely on the internet 24/7. And my mother actually does not have any smart devices in her house. There's no Alexas, there's none of that. And I think this may work for those kinds of people. Now, what T-Mobile did tell me about the connection, they said they're constantly working on towers, they're constantly upgrading. And like I told him, I said, I don't constantly have the time for that. And he told me, he said, well, maybe in a year, try us on again. And I said, yeah, I don't know. Like, that's kind of hard because you messing with my bread and butter when my internet connection's down. I really need my internet. And even this, like, I remember certain times I was on my phone and the phone was connected to the Wi-Fi and the internet would be crappy and I would turn the Wi-Fi off. Now, the way this system works, it's pinging just like our phones going to the towers. That's what it's doing. And so I couldn't understand though when I would turn the Wi-Fi off on my iPhone that the internet will work. So I don't know. It's something to do with the infrastructure. It's just not there yet. But like I said, I believe this is for the regular average, or let me not say average. Let me say below average. I would not recommend this if you have a lot of kids. If you have a family of 3 or a family of 5 and everyone has iPads, phones, I wouldn't recommend that. But not only that, I'm not sure of the area that they're in. If you're in an urban area where T-Mobile's infrastructure is A1, then you might be okay. I did see some people that said it's amazing, but then most people had my story. Most people had the story that when they first got it, it was amazing. And then a couple days or a week after that, it just went downhill. So I don't know if T-Mobile was surprising people, like trying to blow them away, and then they just mysteriously tried to slow the connection down, and I don't know. But I say 5G is still early. 5G isn't everywhere. So, but they said it was here, and I gave it a try, and it's just not working out for me. This is how I knew I was almost like really done. So one day I had to upload a YouTube video, and when I uploaded it, the video was only 11 minutes, and I started to upload at 7 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock, the video wasn't even halfway done. That's how I knew that the upload speed or the upload side of this internet is just not there. But the download side, which is for streaming, which is for watching TV, it's there. So that's when I knew it wasn't really for me. And then I even tried a second video, and I still, like, it was a shorter video, and it still took forever to upload. Well, that's when I really knew that this wasn't going to be a good fit. So let me recap, just in case if you're on the fence of trying to decide if you should try this out. I say give it a try, only because T-Mobile is offering a 14-day trial. Depending if you go to an authorized dealer or if you go directly to their corporate store, you can get a 15 trial day, meaning you won't have to pay anything if you return it within the 15 days. So that alone, it's assurance to say, okay, at least I didn't pay for it. And they don't make you pay a deposit or anything. So that's kind of good. Give it a try. And if it don't work out for you, then it don't work out for you. And like I said, I'm not killing it off and saying it's just crappy, it's just not for me. And so you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I know I'm not the only person out here who uses the internet. Like, I compare my mom, even my dad. My dad, I'm sure he's not using the internet like I am, because the man is retired. All he probably do is watch movies and TV, and he's not working. He's not having to do any heavy lifting on the internet. So thank you for watching. I just wanted to do a follow-up of my experience with T-Mobile's 5G hotspot. It's not for me, but it may be for some other people. Be sure to put it in the comments. Let me know if you've tried 5G from T-Mobile. If you tried T-Mobile's 5G home internet, let me hear your experience. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a blessed day.